What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
A Shadow Line production.
Guys, we have a lot of news going on in the combat sports world that we want to hit a little bit. But definitely at the end of the episode, make sure you stay tuned because we have a very special interview with social media sensation, Mr. Bryce Hall, a young man who's going to be fighting again in Bare Knuckle FC, January 25th at the Wells Fargo Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So make sure you stay tuned at the end of the episode for that. But Henry, lots and lots of news going on. Things popping up each and every day. From what I'm hearing, Ilia Topuria saying, hey, you know what? I'm going up to the money weight. I'm going up to the money weight, and I'm finna go out there, and I'm finna, first victim. Go ahead and give me Charles Oliveira, right?
Yeah, and can I tell you something, Kamaru? I absolutely fucking love that. Because you know why? Islam's talking about, why am I to give this guy a shot? Like, he doesn't do anything for my career. And I've talked about this before. If Islam doesn't fight Belal Muhammad for whatever reason, because he does deserve it, he's slapping that division. He was doing something that you were doing when you're a champion and you're a pound for pound that I've always felt like you should have won up, but you never did because of Israel Adesanya. You guys were friends. In this situation, I know Islam wants that second belt. If he does not go up and fight a guy like Belal Muhammad, then you know what? You have to grant the opportunity and give it to Ilia Topuria to fight you because he beat two first ballot Hall of Famers. But that being said, I love the fact that he's calling out the number one contender, the guy with probably the highest percentage finishing rate in Charles the Bronx and Charles Oliveira, and he's going to literally earn his spot. If Dana White is not freaking loving this, then there's something wrong with that. But that makes me even a bigger fan of Ilia Topuria because he's going after the most dangerous guy, and he's not asking for a title shot right away, Kamaru. He is asking for Charles the Bronx.
Right, Henry. There's just something that's so, when you have that aura of invincibility, there's just something about that. I don't care who it is. You throw this guy in there, you throw that guy in there. I don't care who it is. And I remember there was a moment where I was just like, yeah, bring Godzilla. Bring him, bring his nephews and his cousin. I don't care who it is. And Ilia Topuria has that right now. He does not care. And he believes in that conviction so much to where, hey, put up Conor, I'll put him to sleep. Put up Charles Oliveira, I'll put him to sleep. Put up Islam, I'm put him to sleep. Like, he has that conviction. And hey, he's told us that twice now in these world title fights. And what did everyone do? Everyone went, I don't know. Volkanovski is a beast. You can't do that. He went out there and he did it. And then he goes, give me Max Holloway. And we're like, oh, I don't know. Max Holloway, the best boxer in the UFC. I don't know if you could do that. He went out there and did it. So him calling for a fight like this, I think the UFC does 100%. I think you give him what he wants. Yeah. If he's not successful, because this is how you test him right here. If he's not successful, okay, then you let him know, hey, stay back down there and keep defending your belt.
Yeah.
But if he is successful,
no, Kamaru, I love where Ilia is going. Relinquish that belt at 145 pounds. Go up and do something that nobody has ever done. The last person to really that was actually me. When I beat TJ, I beat Demetrius Johnson, I beat TJ, and then I was granted to go up a weight division. Then I kind of had it smooth in some way. But this guy's going to line. Hey, I'm not sure if I want to fight Volkanovski. Let's read what he just said. Let me read it to you, Kush. Yeah. Maybe there's a change coming. Yes, very likely. You saw my last fight at featherweight. I like to move up to the next weight class. Since Islam Makhachev is a champion fighting in January, he won't be ready for April or May. I like to fight against the number one contender right now, who's Charles Oliveira. I like it, Kamaru, because you know what? He's chasing glory, and he's chasing a fight that people probably don't that people do believe that he's a big underdog. Like he wants to reach against. No. I'm not talking about Charles Oliveira. I'm talking about Islam Makhachev. Like with Charles Oliveira, dude, I can see him maybe potentially getting that job done. Now with Islam Makhachev, because he's a bigger guy, he's got wrestling, and his hands are always up. He's got good defense, and he knows how to tactically fight people different. That's a different fight. But the simple fact, Kamaru, that he said, give me the number one contender. I want Islam Makhachev. If I'm Dana White, I am saying, let's sign that damn contract.
And I agree. And I think that's a fantastic fight for Ilia Topuria.
There's nobody at 145 pounds. Mozart, who potentially maybe lost to Sterling. Lopez, who really hasn't fought the who's. Dude, give this guy an opportunity to fight Charles Oliveira, then let him do history. I
agree. I'm with you. All right, Henry. Let's move on to the next. We've got yo, did you see this? I saw the clip. I guess an event took place where Alex Pereira was at the UFC PI. He was hit mitts with his coach. And Jamal Hill decided that he was going to pull up on him. and he walked up on him. Like,
roll the tape. Let's check it out. Let's
check it out. That is such a dangerous thing to do, especially a guy hitting mitts, a guy with gloves on, and you pull up with no gloves on and you walk up to him smoothly like you want to have a conversation. I didn't understand it, Henry.
Oh, look at that. They dab gloves. Alex doesn't even know what the fuck he's saying. Look, he throws the gloves at him.
Yeah.
He throws the gloves at him.
I'm not understanding.
He's like, put the gloves on in Portuguese. He's like, just put the gloves on. And then Jamal.
I don't know what that purpose was, because this is the thing, Henry, if we got issues, if it's on site, like Jamal Hill kind of made it look like, then you should have let go right there. You face to face, you got to let go.
You said it. I mean,
but no, Henry, you see, when you pull up on someone, because he came up, not on Twitter now, like it's gonna go down, but then you ain't swing on him. He said, put the gloves on. You ain't put the gloves on. So what was the purpose of you going up and saying that?
Dude, I fucking love Jamal Hill. Anyway, let's take a look at these damn messages,
Jamal Hill too,
bro.
but I didn't get that.
I know. I told you why I like Jamal Hill. I like those tattoos, bro. With the 2 thumbs up. I'm a fucking cornball myself. So let's read through these messages. Right. This isn't Twitter. We won't put on the gloves. Goes back to tweet about it. Can Jamal Hill stop pretending they had some epic fight and that Alex should be scared? He accomplished very little and got slapped. Just pipe down. Hope that you don't get clowned again. Fuck. Go ahead, Kamaru. You know what? Can you read some of them? That way ain't the only bad guy over here.
Hey,
fathers and sons argue all the time.
Hill, we ain't on Twitter now. Pereira, you're right. Square up. Hill, nah, I'm straight. No.
Guess who else has been on the news lately? They still want to. They're still jabbing at you, Kamaru Usman. I'm talking about your boy Ian Garry, man. Ian Garry went on the aerial.
What did he say?
He went on the aerial big nose bandit Hawani, and this is what he had to say to you.
Kamaru Usman, in my mind, is a little bitch, and I don't think he'll ever step into the octagon with me ever.
No.
Shots fired. Man down. Down.
I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do it, but I didn't hear that. Like, listen, if this young man, and I have no problem with Ian. I like when we were talking, I said, remember Henry, before the fight, I said, there is a world where I potentially see Ian getting that win in that last fight. Correct?
Yeah,
right?
You did say that.
And so, listen, the thing is, I use this platform. I know where I'm at. I know who I am. I know what I've done, and I use the platform. I don't try to belittle fighters or kill them in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But listen, this kid is the big mouth in the division because he's trying. I guess they call him the number one self-glazing fighter out there. Like just glazes, and I don't even know what that means, but yo, he is because he's talking all this trash here and there that I'm this, I'm that, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I had no problem with him. I don't care. I don't care about him. He's insignificant to me.
You know what? I'm gonna make this up for you, Kamaru.
I'm gonna show you something real quick. I want to read you something, Henry. I'm gonna read you a DM from Ian Garry, right?
Okay, let's see it.
DM from Ian Garry, and this kid's a fan of mine, a big fan of mine.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it, Kush. Let's hear it.
Ian Garry, 2021, right? April 27, 2021, Ian Garry. It's a pleasure to watch you do. It's a pleasure to what you do in that cage. Nothing but respect. From Ian Garry.
Oh, shit.
He's since deleted it because he didn't want us to get out, right?
South Glazes, Mr. Glazer.
25 minutes with the baddest man in the division. When everyone was afraid to step up and step in, I did. And I showed the world that fucking boogeyman, that people that they think's the scariest man in the division. He's fucking human. He's human, and I nearly beat him. He's human. And 2.5 minutes of that fight. And it changes. From someone who's a dominant grappler, who nearly finished? It was the striker. Oh.
Here, read your comment. I have never witnessed so much self-glazing in my life. My God.
But either way, Ben, I think Garry, he did take the fight. He did take the fight, and he didn't get finished by Shafkat. But we saw two performances where one guy is willing to step in against a guy that has 18 finishes, 18-0. But even Shafkat, dude, like I wasn't impressed by that. I mean, if you're gonna go up against a guy like Belal, dude, with the level changes and someone's gonna bring that pressure, I hope his defense is up to par. But I still felt like Shafkat respected Ian a little too much, and that's what made the fight a little bit boring because Ian didn't want to throw down, and that's something that I will give to Ian Garry.
Yeah, but I said it before the fight. Ian likes to move around. Ian likes space. He wants space to be able to get off his attack because he's a long rangey striker. And Shafkat wants to get to the action, but it almost looked like when Ian wanted to be clean, Shafkat was a little bit lost with his combinations to where he eventually had to go to the clinch just to try to get him down. So like I said before, I knew it wasn't going to be the most exciting fight because of that.
But it ain't over there. It ain't over there. Come on, let me cut you off a little bit. Your boy Belal Muhammad has also reacted to what you were saying. Yeah, of course. Belal's reaction to Kamaru Usman laughing at the Conor McGregor video.
What did I say? How is the podcast called Pound for Pound if he's not even ranked? And multiple comments too. It really hit him. I think this really hit him in the soul because what else did he say? Crackhead Conor and crippled Kamaru aren't here to fight anymore. They're here to live off their wins from 5 years ago. Motherfucker, we were winning 5 years ago when your ass was getting knocked out. You were getting slapped.
You know what? Let's pull up some tweets. Let's pull up some tweets on Belal Muhammad being forgotten by the UFC staff.
First DC calling the champ Leon Edwards. And now Joe didn't do anything wrong. Joe was just like, yo.
Shit. You know what? I'm gonna let you read the next one too, Kamaru. You gotta like this one.
And his nickname is
Remember the Name. Laugh my ass off. I feel so conflicted about Belal. I don't like him. He's a boring fighter, but at the same time, I feel bad for him. Shit. I'm sorry, Belal, but this shit is kind of funny. I love my own shit too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, you
can't
scared
blame-
of Belal now?
Can't blame them. I had to look up who the champion was in the weight class during the fight. Good. Take over, Kush. Take over. Look at that. They're patting him down. No! Who the fuck is that guy? Look at that.
Oh, my side. My side hurts. Oh, in other news.
But I will say this, Kamaru, I mean, he I know you guys have had your beat, but what he's been able to do to these dudes has been impressive, man.
What these dudes? He fought Leon Edwards and won the belt. He hasn't fought since. What do you mean these dudes? Who are these dudes, Henry?
Kobe Covington.
Belal hasn't fought Kobe Covington.
He did get that rematch with Vicente Luque. He did beat him.
Yeah,
who the hell
decision,
else,
boring decision.
Who the hell else did he beat?
Exactly. You can't even remember.
Is that is no pun intended there, or
huh?
No pun intended with that comment? You didn't remember.
Who is it? Who did he beat?
Fucking who did he beat? Did he beat Buckley?
Keep this in, by the way. No,
Muhammad.
Keep this in, by the way. No, Ian. Hey, Dylan,
Dylan,
don't be saying that. Dylan, don't be giving him no hand. Henry, you are a champion, 2-division champion. If you can't remember who he beat, then don't come on here and say, hey, what he's been doing to these guys. You don't remember who he fought. So what do you mean? How do you remember what he's been doing to these guys? Don't even put that up.
Oh, shit.
If I don't remember, I don't remember. Don't even put that up.
All right. So let's move on, man. Kobe Covington is coming up and he's fighting Joaquin Buckley, man. I mean, this fight right here is you know what? I got Buckley on this one, Kamaru. I feel like Buckley's coming into his own. He's working on his wrestling with Nick Simmons. Kobe Covington has learned to kind of shit the bed when the lights are bright. And he's too caught up into his character that I just don't feel like he's really gotten better, dude. But I think with Buckley, being a little bit of the shorter fighter, but also being younger, and he's a southpaw, he's gonna be ready for Kobe Covington. I like this fight. I like this fight because these are two guys that could really sell a fight. And then, Buckley's on a 5. He's on a 5. Ever since he's come down to 170 pounds, he's been having a lot more success. Dude, he's not that. I mean, you could probably consider him a shorter heavyweight, but he was at welterweight. He was 5-0, dude. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, Henry. This is a very, very compelling fight. I like the fight because they're both southpaws, but that doesn't necessarily favor either guy because Kobe Covington can fight southpaws. He has fought southpaws and had done very well with them. Fought Dong Young Kim, southpaw. He did well with him. He fought RDA, southpaw. He did well with him. He fought who else did he fight that was southpaw? He's fought a few different southpaws and done pretty well with them. So southpaw is not something that he's unfamiliar to. When I went southpaw, he was having success in the fight. So and I caught that in the fight and I stopped doing that with him. But yeah, this is a very, very good fight. I like the fact that Joaquin Buckley's coming off of 5 fights and he's on a 5-fight win streak. This is where I see it is Buckley is hungry. He's aggressive. He's going to come after Covington early. I worry about the inactivity of Covington because, and I said that in his last fight, I said him going into a title fight with Leon Edwards, but such a long layoff, it's going to take time to get into the fight to where he starts to get going again. And that's the issue that I see here. He's also had another long layoff since that fight. So I think it's going to be a little tough for him to get going. And Buckley's not the kind of guy that you're just going to stand there and take a couple of shots and then eventually get going later. So he has to be able to get a hold of Buckley, get Buckley into wrestling and grappling and up against the cage to really start to build up those lactic acids. Then you can really start to see if he gets to the later rounds of 3, 4, and 5, then you can really potentially see Kobe wake up. But this is a really good fight, compelling fight. Obviously, if Buckley wins this, that puts him right up there in the mix of the top 5. So I'm going to have my eye on this one real closely. I might be there for this fight. So, yeah,
Oh,
I like
really?
it.
Oh, is that right, man? So this is okay.
I might
So
be there.
you might be Tati this fight a little bit.
I don't, you know me, Henry. I don't care who it is. When I'm ready to come back, I'm going to come back. If it's King Kong, Godzilla, it does not matter. When I'm ready to come back, I'm going to come back. I'll do my thing. You know what I mean?
The person that's going to have to make these adjustments is probably going to have to be Kobe, dude. Like, and I typically wouldn't. I typically wouldn't say that because he's just going to come out and grind. But he's going to have to change, man, because his style has become so repetitive that if Buckley does not, which I know Buckley's going to be prepared for a lot of the shit that he's doing, a lot of the combination, he hasn't changed. So could a guy like Colby Covington fight a little more strategic, bounce around, move around, do a little bit of what Thompson was doing, and then fight his takedown rather than just bunch it in with punches and then takedowns? So you still have your style, but you have to see it and look at it in a different way. Because if he just comes like that, man, Buckley's got power. With one of those blows that he catches with, like, Colby's going to be done. So Colby's got to stay away from that power and then find the right timing to actually enter. So he's gonna have to really work on his entries and really use that lateral movement to eventually take down Buckley and use that top control. But if not, if he just decides to bang with the guy like with heavy hands like Buckley, I think Buckley could be the first guy to ever second guy to ever put out Colby Covington. What do you think, Kush? Am I wrong?
Second guy.
Didn't you take him out first? Didn't you stop him?
I did. I like it. I think it's a good fight for Covington to come back on if he's still there at that level and if he still wants to continue to be at the top of the division. I think this is a good fight for him to show that he is there. But yeah, I'm intrigued by the fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. Yep.
I don't think we have to do this whole Pantoja thing, man.
Hey, whoa, Triple C.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Bring it up. Bring it up, the Kush. Bring it up.
I don't know how to say that in English, but like in Portuguese, it's like a lipoaspiração when you go to the surgery doctor.
Yeah, like the liposuction. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. You need that for make the weight, you know.
You come here, Triple C. Hey, Mr. Henry Cejudo. Pantoja heard what you said, and he said, hey, Henry, you might need liposuction to get to flyweight, but if you do, he would love the opportunity. So, Henry, he's offering you a title shot.
I don't know about liposuction, but I'll definitely get a... What is it? A BBL? Is that what it is?
Pause. I knew he was going to pause. Flag on the play. Jeez.
A Brazilian.
Okay, but Henry, in all seriousness, he's giving you a title shot right now.
No, for sure. But I think this was long. I'm not. If this is recent, like if Pantoja wants to do it, I think it'd be really good. The only guys that I've lost to Kamaru, I've only lost to nothing but champions. I lost to Aljamain Sturdy split decision, and then I lost to the current champ and Barad Devalishvili. We're at least one round with the fucking torque growing. So I'd love to send message.
He's offering you a title shot here. Can you get down to 25 and get the title shot?
I will. If Pantoja wants to do this fight, I can shake on it. But like as I told you before, Kamaru, it's up to Hunter, man. If Hunter wants to give me the opportunity, I've asked him for that. I've asked him about to go down to 25. I just don't know if these guys are super serious about me actually doing it. But if they believe me and trusted me, we're able to get the UFC PI. And if Pantoja wants to do it, if he wants to do it in Brazil, I would love to make him bend the knee. And I love the dude, and he's the most kindest soul. And I love him to death, and I'm glad he's champion. But for that championship bout, Pantoja, you will bend the knee to King Triple C.
There you have it. Henry, let's end with the question from a casual today. And our question would be, would you ever fight a guy and his dad in the octagon? Would I ever just fight a random guy and his dad in the octagon? Henry, let's try to pronounce this name.
Kwasinski. Kwasinski.
Hwashinsky. Yes, Alan Hwashinsky missed weight for his famed MMA 23 clash with Armando. Yeah, that's another one.
Amaduz.
Roslik. This past weekend by a whopping 7 pounds. As a result, he was forced to fight Roslik and his what is this? Fame MMA? What is that? Hwashinsky stunningly accepted the handicap bout, perhaps to ensure he still get paid. Let's roll the footage. I need to see this. 2 versus 1. See, that's where you mess up, Henry. That's how you mess up. You know when it's 2 versus 1, you gotta punish one. Stop trying to fight them both at the same time. You gotta punish one, and when you really punish them, guess what? The rest gonna understand what it is. You gotta take one out of the mix off rip. Boom. So he's stupid. You gotta go for the dad, put him out of the mix. Boom, boom. Dad sleep. Then you take your time on the son. Henry, how would you approach it? That's how I would approach it. You gotta punish one first.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, bro. I think I would have probably I think he had the right idea. He just didn't get the job done, dude. Fuck, he got fucked up. You know what I like about this video is the dad who got clocked ended up submitting him, and I thought that shit is hilarious. So he didn't tap due to punches. He fucking tapped because his dad was on his damn throat.
Yeah,
you know. Now what if these guys hugged it out at the end?
You gotta. I don't think that dad is gonna be too happy with you. I think he hit him with a right hand. Nah, you gotta. If it's me, you gotta punish one. I don't care about the rest. I'm gonna take my time on one because even if it's unfair, you're gonna get jumped. But even if I do get jumped, guess what? One of y'all is gonna go home and telling everybody, "Damn, look at my eye, bro. Look what he did to my eye." At least I'm gonna leave my mark on one of y'all. So yeah, I get it though. But here you go. That's our questions from a casual. Would I do it? I don't know about 2 trained fighters, a dad and his son, but yeah, I wouldn't mind. Henry?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, dude. If you know, money talks, bullshit walks. Money's right. Let's do it.
You do anything for money, Henry?
Just about anything, but not everything, Kamaru. I don't know what you think.
Pause.
I mean, fight, not cockfight.
All right. But yeah, guys, make sure that you stay tuned. We have social media superstar Bryce Hall, who is also going to be fighting again in Bare Knuckle FC, January 25th, I believe, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at the Wells Fargo Arena. So make sure you stay tuned for that interview. Today we have a special guest. I know I say that every week, but we have a special guest. 24 million plus on TikTok, 7 million followers on Instagram, 3.5 million subscribers on YouTube, 1.5 million on X, and now Bare Knuckle boxer. Obviously, I just read some numbers out. You've been doing a lot of work. You've done a lot of work on the social media aspect to where you've built, we can say, a social media empire. You've built an empire, but then you decide at the age of what? 23, you decide, you know what? I want to be a martial artist. I want to be a fighter.
That was I was a wrestler actually growing up.
Really? And you're from Maryland, correct?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh,
Maryland,
so
yeah. So I was a wrestler. So then I already had it in me. Like I was like, okay, like the weight cuts, it's brutal.
Right.
One-on-one competitions, you know, like a bunch of people watching, and then I lost my first exhibition boxing match, and it was pretty embarrassing, like losing in front of millions of people. It sucks. So then I decided one day that I just wanted to try something different, and Bare Knuckle was it. So I talked with Feldman. We got something set up. It was actually really fun. So I like it. I like Bare Knuckle boxing.
So now that we're getting to know a little bit more about you, talk a little bit about your childhood. You grew up in Maryland, correct? and getting into wrestling. Obviously, Henry and myself, former wrestlers. Talk about kind of like that upbringing in wrestling, and how far did you decide that you wanted to go in wrestling, in the sport of wrestling?
So I started out getting bullied in high school for my social media. So I did like, looking back, like it was like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old taking selfies and a bunch of random girls that your school doesn't know. They're commenting on the photo. They're like, who are all these random girls? Like, you think you're hot shit. Started out with bullying. I would get my ass kicked. I went into wrestling to try to defend myself. I ended up being okay at wrestling. And then I got into one fight with somebody that people were afraid of in the school. And then people were like, oh, shit, wait, you throw down. I picked this kid up and I double leg him like it's nothing. Like, literally flipped the kid. Right. So then, like, I got respect in my high school where it's like, okay, he's a pretty boy, kind of a douchebag. He still makes stupid content, but I don't think I could fight him. So, like, we're just going to bully you verbally. So that, like, it was originally to defend myself.
Right.
And then I didn't think I was going to, like, make it into a career or anything like that.
Right. I think that's a kind of some way that how we all find our journeys into something that we're doing, especially something like wrestling. We all kind of have a story or a journey that gets us in there. And you have yours to where I wonder, how did you do at States?
I didn't do good.
You didn't do good.
No.
But you were good enough and you had learned the principles enough to be able to apply it to anything else. And it helped you transcend to the point where you are now. You've created an empire for yourself, and now you've gotten into bare knuckle boxing and not doing pretty bad. We watched your last fight.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to do another one this year. In my weight, I'm fighting at 165. Pretty heavy right now, so they want me to fight in December. I think I weighed myself today. I was like 207. So to fight at 165.
Why bare knuckle and not traditional, just boxing? Straight boxing?
Honestly, I think more of the virality. Just like a more brutal sport. I think like the knockouts are crazier. I think it's easier to knock people out.
You like violence, huh?
I don't like violence, but I'm like, if I get someone on the chin,
I don't like violence, but I like violence.
If I get hit, I can take a hit and I can definitely deliver.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think what it would, because you're an entrepreneur, man. Whether it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
If you're in high school taking all these pictures, you got bullied, the whole night, but you're able to turn it into an empire. You're able to turn this thing into money, into people to actually follow you. So I'm more interested on that side, on how that you really started trickling in and really connecting the dots together. That's made you an influencer.
So I got my first paycheck. I started out on social media when I was 14 years old. Doing live streams, and originally it was because I didn't have friends in high school, so I wanted to just talk to people online. And it was like me literally sitting in front of a camera after school talking to like 10 people. And then it just gradually grew higher and higher, and I got my first paycheck when I was 14. It like in the first 3 to 4 months, I started getting 1,000 concurrent viewers. People just randomly watching me do prank calls, jump off of shit, do flips, like just stupid like 14-year-old boy shit, right? And I got my first paycheck for like $2,400. So I had to set up like a bank account when I was 14 years old. My mom was confused. She asked, where did I get this money from? And I was telling her I do live streams, and she kind of looks at me like, my 14-year-old son's doing live streams, getting money. Like, well, let me check into this. And she supported me. She's been my day one supporter, watching all my live streams while she's at work. And then it grew exponentially after high school.
So do you have a whole system on like, the type of sponsorships that you want or the numbers that you know what I mean? Because you always have to be on your toes. Because you know why? Because there's another influence right behind you that's knocking on that door. So how do you continue to keep staying competitive?
So I've been doing it for 10 plus years now. I'm 25 years old. I do think it's still competitive, but once you get to a certain stature on social media, you can start not riding trends. So originally people blow up just from riding trends, and your face gets more and more out there, and then you can start doing your own stuff. That's kind of like the wave I'm on right now. I can still do my own stuff. Like I can make stupid videos that wouldn't traditionally be viral, but because it's me saying certain things, it's like, oh, okay, it still goes viral. So
right.
I don't think of it as competition anymore. I kind of just
So you just keep you continue to keep building your empire.
It's literally just me being the most organic version of myself, and people are following the most organic version.
We're in the wrong profession, Kamaru.
What were you? You're live streaming at 14. What were you live streaming? Because I live stream something. I'm just really hearing about like all these streamers. And
I was doing
that.
it.
So what were you live streaming on and where?
I used to be able to alter my voice, so I would prank call different like places like McDonald's. And,
Okay, all right, let's hear it.
well, I can't do it anymore. This is like when I was 14. I used to literally be able to do a girl voice like to a T. Not doing that now. I'm 25. My girlfriend's sitting right there. I'm not fucking doing that.
I feel you though.
So it was like literally the stupidest prank calls, but people were watching it. They were getting clipped everywhere, even back in 2014. And it blew up my live streams.
Where were you? Was there a platform that you were live streaming on, or?
It was called YouNow. It was a direct competitor with Twitch at the time.
Really?
Completely fell off the face of the map, though.
I've never heard of it. Yeah, till now.
Does anyone know what YouNow is? Anyone that's like listening right now? All right, whatever.
Wow.
It used to be big, yeah.
Right. And you grew that to where do you I'm assuming you still live stream.
I don't live stream anymore.
You don't live stream anymore.
No, that was a lot of time.
Yeah. Really? What? Talk to me a little bit about that. What's the requirement, and is there if you're gonna live stream, is there things that you have to do on the live stream, or is it just you set up a camera, you just flip it on, and everyone's just watching you?
I mean, no one's gonna watch you if you're just like flipping on a camera and doing absolutely nothing. You usually have like a plan of what you're gonna do leading up in the live stream. Now people are doing some really entertaining shit. There's that Vitali guy that's just catching a bunch of yeah. So like he live streams with a bunch of like.
His name's Vitali. I think it's
Vitali TV.
Yeah, Vitali TV. He's hilarious. Dude.
He's a live streamer and he catches. It's really sick.
So I saw a little bit. I didn't see it, but I saw a little clip of what he's doing.
He catches. He makes them do very embarrassing things. Well, first off, it's embarrassing. They're and then he confronts them and makes them do something so he doesn't call the cops on them. So he'll make them take a punch from Ryan Garcia, like in the face, or he'll be like, "Okay, shave your head, and your eyebrows, and I won't call the cops."
And he's recording,
but he's live streaming. There's tens of thousands of people. They're still going to get reported.
Okay, so how does he? Well, how are you able to get away with something like that? Because at that point, you're kind of exploiting them, right?
I mean, but
he's in some
100%. Like as far as the empathetic part of it, yes, of course, you get no empathy for me when you're doing something like that, but isn't there still kind of like a thing of you still have to sign the waiver, don't they?
I think he does do something like that in the streams. Like he makes them say, "Do you fully consent to me doing all of this to you in order for me not to call call the cops?" Like it's not, he does it. He does it safe. He hasn't gotten in trouble yet. And I love his series.
Really, I'm gonna watch it. Dude.
The thing Vitali's doing is really sick. And there's also like Skeeter Hansen, Gideon. They're all catching. They're like saving the world on the internet. It's pretty sick.
Really?
Damn, that's what's up.
Cool.
But these are live streamers, so they're live streaming this stuff, and they have like all these plans.
They're live streaming on what?
He's probably on YouTube,
Kick.
Kick. Okay, so that's just like a live streaming platform, and they're just okay.
Yeah. So how do the competitors kind of work? I mean, obviously, like how would you rank them, and how do you make different money off of these different platforms?
So Kick is the Twitch and YouTube. They have terms of service that is extremely strict. Like you can't even say the age of an underage person without getting demonetized. With Kick, you can say how old the person is, what the person's messaging. Like if you say certain things on certain platforms, you get like demonetized. It won't get pushed out as much. So yeah, you should bleep out. Like by the way, like that's a word that won't let you get pushed out to places.
Really? Yeah. So let's say this goes out on let's say YouTube.
Yeah, it won't get pushed out.
Really?
Unless you beep it out. If you beep it out, it's fine.
Wow, we're learning something today. Wow. So I'm not too savvy in that world, which now I'm learning. I'm gonna have to be, because
there's terms of service.
Yeah, and well, speaking of that, the whole situation, going back to you now becoming a fighter, And of all fight sports, you chose bare knuckle, which I do believe it is hardcore.
I think what you guys do is a little more hardcore.
Sure,
you get kicked in the face,
that's
like
true.
you get kneed, you know.
That's
like
true.
these you can like kind of
Slapped.
You can move. You can move with these.
Yeah, right. No, so with that, and you going from your aspect of you've built this social media empire to where you know how this thing works, I want to know from your perspective now is how do you feel that social media has changed now the world of fight sports?
I think so. I
And
know, like
is it for the better?
It's. I think it is for the better. I think it's like boosting fighters' pay. It's going more viral across social media. There's clips going everywhere on every single platform. Right. So the bigger a fighter gets their following, I think that does increase your payday. I think it's like smart to be on social media as a fighter.
Right.
Yeah.
Like have a team filming you doing like all this stuff.
Yeah, no, I personally like it. You know, I think of a guy like Jake Paul, what he's been able to do and who he's able to be. But obviously the dude that was once a Disney kid, former wrestler, has been able to make a killing, a living. Like, man, when I saw a documentary on Real Sports, I think 1 year he made close to like $50 million.
That's crazy.
And I'm just like, dude, from trolling and just getting followers, and obviously, you know, he does what he does. Like, it's amazing. How far do you want to take this game? Do you want to put yourself in a position where Jake Paul and you're fighting all these different legends?
I don't want to ever disrespect any others. I'm never going to fight someone that's like out of their element. I don't think that's like what I want to go down the path of. If I'm doing bare knuckle, I'm fighting bare knuckle fighters. I'm fighting like people that are in that zone. Or like, you know, obviously if there's like some social media kid that thinks that they can beat my ass and they're talking shit and the numbers make sense, then I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it with you. I don't care. But I'm not going to like take like a UFC legend, bring him over to bare knuckle. I mean, Mike Perry's killing it right now. He's fucking dogging over there. Eddie Alvarez is pretty good for it, but he won against Mike Perry. So I think Mike Perry's just built for bare knuckle.
Speaking of that, I mean, you guys are around the same.
Nah.
You know?
Nah, I think I'm way lighter. Yeah, I think I'm actually.
I'm saying
I might be fighting at 135 next. So.
Call him out, dude. Mike Perry. I know somebody wants to
Mike Perry. I heard is a nice guy. So you know, like Mike Perry's cool.
Mike Perry, he is. Shout out to Mike Perry. He as what you see is what you get with Mike Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no. I'm faking this and fake. What you see is what you get with Mike Perry. And there's something that's raw about that. That's so real, and I think it translates over to his career right now as a bare knuckle fighter. There's something about that that's so raw and real, and he is the face of bare knuckle.
He is the face of bare knuckle. And just the thing that I'm thinking is like, what's the longevity for a bare knuckle fighter? And I think Mike Perry's the first example. So we'll see where it goes. I don't know how many times you can get punched in the face bare knuckle and not. Like with UFC, you know, and boxing, you can constantly get punched, and you know, there's like a timeline with it. But bare knuckle, I have no idea.
Yeah. You guys are pretty much like the first models of what the fuck's gonna happen these next 10, 15 years.
Exactly.
Well, how far do you want to take this?
I don't want to do that many.
Really?
You know, I think I'm thinking max like 5.
So is this just for fun, or is this just I just want to try something different?
It's fun. Challenge? Like I think it's like a fun thing to do, and I like doing things in front of a bunch of people. I mean, I have no other like talent. I'm not a singer. I'm not a dancer. I'm not anything like that.
You're a prankster.
Yeah,
you don't dance though.
I used to.
I hear the TikTok. You setting the TikTok off. I
used to do the but I wasn't like a professional at that shit. And I think this is something that I can compete in, where it fits what I can actually do.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't think how many people are gonna come to me, like come and watch me, you know, just sit on stage and talk.
Yeah. That's crazy.
The audience, the bare knuckle fight that I did, it was like 8,000 cap, and it sold out like that. And I was like, what the fuck? This many people want to see me do a bare knuckle fight?
Well, yeah, I think.
And it was in New Mexico.
You've really defied the odds of kind of what you think you can do, and that's one thing. Now actually getting to sit with you and talk to you is there's still a ceiling that you might not necessarily realize. Like, I think it's a matter of every time you shock yourself. And I think you don't sell yourself short. You sold out, you told me New Mexico, 8,000, you sold that thing out like that.
Yeah.
There's no telling to what you could do. Maybe you are the one who starts filling the T-Mobile Arena for a bare knuckle fight. You say, yeah, it's just, a couple of fights, but I watched your fight. You weren't half bad.
Appreciate that.
You weren't half bad. You got speed, you got power on you, to where I think it's, like I said, it's a mindset.
If it was UFC, it would have been done in the first 10 seconds. So I stood over him. I was like, oh, wait, I can't hit him on the back.
Yeah. No, I think you got something. I think you got something. You've built, obviously, you've proven to yourself that you can build an empire outside of this. And now we're watching, like, fighters like myself and him, we're watching guys like yourself and the Jake Pauls and these guys come into
It's a new wave.
actual martial arts and actually excel. So let's talk a little bit about the whole Jake Paul approach and him now doing it, because I had to take a step back. At first, of course, no one likes change. And I'm like, screw what this guy's doing. But you have to understand and take a step back and realize it, and to where I'm like, real fighters, especially boxers, when they come in and they're building themselves, the first maybe 5-10 fights is nobody's.
Yeah.
Or just journeyman, what's considered journeymans. But in the case of like yourself and Jake Paul, you guys are doing it to where normal boxing trajectory, we don't know who those 10 fighters are. We don't know where you fought. You might have fought in the backyard of Tijuana. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing it in front of the masses. You guys are really putting yourself out there to where you're risking embarrassment in those first couple of fights that could be feelers. In the case of Jake Paul, to where a lot of people say, yeah, you're kind of handpicking people out of their element. But now I can take a step back and look at it and go, well, this is kind of the typical trajectory for boxers, but he's willing to put himself out there, which is why I asked what you really see as far as the difference between that approach of where typical boxers just come in and work their way up, and now they're getting notoriety, to where you guys are right in front of us trying to do that.
I think Jake Paul's extremely impressive. I think like what he's doing is extremely impressive. Boxers are fighting nobodies at the start of their careers. Jake Paul's going out, and I mean, he's fighting legends. Like, he is fighting legends, and he's putting them on the canvas. It's very impressive what he's doing. I think it is. It just depends how you look at it. Like, for the social media world, him being a social media influencer, going into combat sports and dominating the way he's dominating, I think it's good for social media. But for you guys, like, looking at it, I could see how it could be like, oh, that's just fucked up. I don't like what he's doing.
Yeah. There's that competitor side, of course.
It's the competitive side.
But then, because there's that real competition.
But it's also bringing eyes to what you guys are doing.
Exactly. I think that's one thing that Jake Paul has done very well, is he's brought more eyes to the sport of boxing, where I almost feel like he's forced some of the bigger names to actually fight each other. But look at you, man. An influence, young, and obviously I do want to talk about your girlfriend. Obviously, we got the paper. You got Shaquille O'Neal sliding in, Uncle Shaq sliding in.
Shaq did Kanye, Neymar. And she's still with me. I'm like, what the hell?
Who else? Don't tell me Cristiano Ronaldo now.
Oh, please God, no.
He's like, it's over for me.
No, I didn't care about Shaq or Kanye, but then like Neymar slid in. I kind of hit my ego a little bit. I was like, hey, why is he in there?
Yeah.
What did Neymar say, though?
Dude, Neymar sent hearts, right? Or what did he say?
Yeah, I think it was the emoji with the heart eyes or something like that.
Sick.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
man, a few words. But how do you guys juggle that? Obviously,
I just make jokes out of it. I really don't care.
Yeah. So you guys have that bond and that relationship where it's part of the game. You guys understand that girls are gonna slide into his DMs, and a lot of guys are gonna slide into hers.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah. So you guys are kind of in that contract where, it's what it is.
Yeah. I just make funny videos out of it. No ill intent towards any of the celebrities that I'm making about it. Yeah, it's like kind of like exposing them, but I think it's hilarious.
I'm curious about Uncle
I'm
Shaq.
trying to see. I'm trying
He
to
slid in
think.
my DMs after, and he's like, "I was just saying what's up, but now I'm gonna take her and your mom." He said that to me.
Uncle Shaq.
I was like, "Okay, he's funny."
Uncle Shaq. Was that you? I could be mistaken. Was that you that? I guess some girl said that you slid in her DM.
Oh yeah, it was me.
That was you. That was your. I knew I recognized that. Some girl said you slid in her DM.
Yeah, and then
you
showed it.
expose it. It's
Her sliding into my
yes, that
DMs.
really wasn't what it. Yeah, I mean that happens here and there, you know. But I want to say like I love kind of the approach. You seem like a fantastic young man. The one thing about me, obviously, doing a little bit of research is I saw a post that you did. You did a little post with your mom, and this thing to me, because family is very, very important to me. And you were in the car with your mom, and she lived on a golf course.
Oh yeah.
And you said, I didn't get you. She said, "Oh, you got me a golf cart." And you opened the garage door, and it was like a scooter in there. and then you hand her $10,000.
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, here you go. You can buy something." And I don't know if she cried there, but I know she kind of
Teared up a little bit.
Yeah. And I love moments like that because that at some point in my life, I got to the place where I realized that those are what's more meaningful. Really pulling out the happiness of the people that you love around you. It's monumental to me. That's truly for me the pursuit of happiness. So talk a little bit more about what that moment meant for you and how you felt with your mom feeling that way about where you are.
Honestly, I won that in the casino.
You won that. She knew it because she called it. Didn't she?
So I won that in the casino, and I like literally had the money that I started with plus that. So I was just like, "Here you go, mom, take it." But I do that all the time with my mom. Like I'll just give her money because I grew up like in a single family household. I mean, my mom was a single mother, raised me. I can't even imagine how much money she spent on me and the emotional damage that I caused her growing up. So it's like, this is like my way of paying her back, literally paying her back.
Yeah, well, that's what's up, Bryce. Bryce, I mean, I just want to give you, the flowers. I think you can take this thing to as far as you really desire to. I think, guys like Jake Paul have set that blueprint. Yeah, we appreciate you coming in to give us a little bit of time and letting us learn a little bit more about you. And unfortunately, sorry we weren't Hawk 2.
That doesn't even matter. This is cool.
But no, we appreciated getting to know you, my man, and good luck in your career. And like Henry mentioned, I do believe don't sell yourself short. If I had a little piece of advice for you, don't sell yourself short. I think for someone to choose what you're choosing and actually put the work in to go and attain it, I think you could push it as far as you want to push it. So don't sell yourself short on that. But man, thank you for joining us, man. And
thanks for having me.
Congrats. Everything.
Thank you, guys.
All right, I am the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
And we out.